Hey guys, this is Fernando doing another video for Remote Survivalists. It's been a while since I uploaded a video, especially one on Pocket EDC update, so that's exactly what I'm going to be doing now. Thanks everyone for all the subscriptions, almost reaching the 10,000 subscribers, which is kind of a milestone. I'm going to be giving away a knife for that occasion. I know that you guys don't follow me for anything that I give away because I rarely do that at all, but just a little thank you for you folks. And yeah, just thanks for all the support, all the good comments there, and the nice things you've been saying. Keys, same as always, nothing new here. It's the Victorinox Mini Champ, which has that red LED, lots of nice tools in there that I've shown in another specific video of the Victorinox Mini Champ. Has a light, it has a little pen, which comes in handy, but going to be getting to the topic of the pen later on. Titanium peanut lighter, always with a good amount of fluid in there, and it lasts for several months. Phoenix LDO1, Pico pry bar, which is also nice. Changing mode there for a second, which I've talked about mini pry bars, how handy they are, especially when a little knife like this is just too fragile for any prying jobs. And finally, the Iron Key with the important USB with the important files, important information encrypted in the safest USB that is out there, the Iron Key. It's kind of chunky. I've looked into some of the smaller ones. Many of them don't offer the protection, the encryption level that the Iron Key does. Maybe it's overkill. I just like to be careful with that sort of information. And it's a setup that I'm not messing much with because it really works so well. There's nothing here that I don't end up using soon enough, so I just wouldn't want to be without any of this. The Phoenix LDO1 is a fantastic little AAA flashlight. Fantastic. It's like 80 lumens. Once a year I change the battery, but other than that, same for the Mini Champ. Sometimes I look specifically for it because especially that Phillips screwdriver that it has there is just great. So the setup for the keys stays as it is because it's been working very, very well. In terms of my car keys, I still have a saddleback leather keychain. I have this little funny thing for the shopping carts. Still haven't done my experiment of getting a real coin, drilling a hole to it and carrying it this way and seeing if it works in the vending machines. That would be pretty cool. That would be something that I'd like to do. If it works in vending machines, it would be like an extra points, an extra usefulness that it has. Then I added a little keychain light. These are one of those cheap, really keychain lights, button cell lights. Just because I don't know. Sometimes I found myself trying to look for something around the car or having the keychain with me, and it's more practical than maybe digging into a pocket to get the other flashlight. So, and it really takes up no space at all. It's not that much. And finally, the Boker Vox titanium pry bar with a glass breaker over there. That's what it is, along with the car key and the bottle opener. Surprisingly, I did use the bottle opener a few times in the last few weeks. So yeah, that's still working very well. In terms of knife, a good knife for around here, the Boker Trans Model 42, which is, it's okay. It's guys, in one of my previous videos, one of you kind of got a little bit rude about, hey, that's a locking knife, I don't know what. I don't lie to you folks. I don't lie to my viewers. I don't lie to my blog readers. If I'm saying it's a split joint knife, it really is. If I'm saying it's not a locking knife, it simply isn't. I have no use in lying to you folks. As you see here, see how I'm not doing anything? It does not lock. This is not a locking knife. I understand that there's a similar model, exactly the same, and this part of the frame does bend down and becomes a liner lock. That I get that, but this is not it. This is a different model. So trust me, if I'm saying something, it's not because I'm trying to trick anyone or lie to anyone. It is because it's simply the way it is. So for out and about, great knife, a UK legal knife. You could have this in the middle of London without any explanation of any kind. If you're going to be using a big locking blade, you will have to have a proper reason for it. So when you're not hiking, camping, or doing some sort of outdoorsy thing, this is the way to go, at least around here, because you don't need any explanation, you don't need any reasonable use for it. You just can carry it just because you feel like it, since it does not lock and it's an under 3-inch blade. Along with it, usually I will have this Victorinox German Army knife, which always comes in handy. You know, I find myself using the screwdriver quite a bit, also enjoying the reach it has. I was just doing a little bit of, I was just tightening up a screw in a light appliance that was pretty high, and with the added reach, that was a nice thing to have. Pretty cool. Also, the blade, keeping it very, very sharp is always recommended. A sharp knife is always safer and better than a knife that is not sharp, and it's especially if it's razor sharp, like hair shaving razor sharp. It is even more useful. My wife yesterday, she asked me to cut open something she had bought, and she said, you know, get the scissors so as to have a clean, nicer, and not make much of a mess with a knife. I said, you know, just wait, give me a second. With this knife being so sharp, it cuts better than a scissor. Just being a little bit careful because it's so sharp. Keeping it that way makes it a more useful, more handy tool. As you see, there's quite a bit of wear in the blade already. The steel in these knives is not fantastic. Takes a good edge and all, but you know, sharpening it often, the steel does not last that much. But you know, no big deal there. Pen, I've been carrying a pen also lately, the Zebra F701. Zebra F701 is stainless steel construction, at least on the outside, very, very solid, and you know, practical for all those things where maybe pulling out the little keychain. I mean, this is great for an emergency, but it's not as practical for signing for stuff, you know, going this way. I mean, I've done it several times, but it's not nearly as practical as just pulling out a real pen and getting the job done in a very quick fashion. Flashlight, still with the Eagle Tac D25C. I had a little bit of a problem there, forgetting it went into the washing machine, got a little bit of water in there, but as you see, it still works very well, had no issues, it dried up nicely. And what I did was upgrade a little bit here with a whistle, which is what I used to have in my previous flashlight, which is also still very good, 4.7's Quark tactical flashlight. I had my whistle there. The only thing I didn't like about it is that because of the tactical configuration of the clicky, it engaged on the pocket on its own, which is not good, because you end up running out of battery without even knowing it. All of a sudden you feel something warm in your pocket and you're burning your battery out. Here, no, because it's flush, you know, it stands on the tail, which is nice. It's smaller, more compact, a little bit more powerful as well. But it was a few weeks ago, one of you guys said, hey, you don't have a whistle with you. And I said, yeah, I have my whistle in my flashlight. And no, I didn't anymore, because when I changed the flashlight, I lost the whistle. So I used one of the ones that I had in a little tupper with spare parts and things. I included the whistle. And I intended to do so for some time, but always, you know, forgot about it or something. And I was watching just a few days ago what happened in Argentina, in the province of Rosario. You know, there was a gas leak that ended up blowing up, blew down like an entire building. I think like 14 dead just because of a gas leak. And that's the kind of example of situations where having a whistle makes, man, a huge difference. We take it for granted, but in terms of disaster preparedness, whistle, huge thing to have. The whistle allows you to make your position noticed when you're weak, when you cannot yell anymore. It's much more efficient than just yelling. The whistle, even a little one like this, it is miles away better. You can be heard from miles away in comparison to just screaming and yelling, which is very inefficient. And when you're hurt, think about it, maybe a building collapsed on you. You can barely speak. You can't even talk properly, let alone scream. And with just a little bit of air, if you manage to do that, you may make yourself notice and make a huge difference in the outcome of that event. So whistle, yeah, it's one of those things you have to find a way of including into whatever system you have. And here it's really not a problem, and it goes along nicely with the flashlight, which is also a way of signaling or making yourself notice. This flashlight has, in one of the hidden modes, it has the SOS, the strobe as well. So yes, absolutely. I did finally update my wallet. You know, I've been talking about doing that for several months, and finally got around to it. And here's where the mindset I always talk about, the modern survival mindset of analyzing things with a cold perspective, a practical perspective, and not let yourself being carried away with other things. This is probably the ugliest wallet I've seen in a long time. Bought it a few days ago for just a couple bucks, really. It was on super sale. Obviously no one wanted it. You know, it is Quicksilver, which is kind of a neat brand, but it is ugly. I mean, it's as ugly as they get. But you know, the thing is, first of all, the thing I liked about it, the color, very visible. This looks good and all, but you know, some of the tactically things that people like in the survival and preparedness community, sometimes it's not really practical, especially for a wallet. Who would want to have a wallet that is easy to find if it falls in tall grass or gets lost? This is much more visible, less likely to be forgotten, and a much better color for a thing that, rather than being going by unnoticed, should be readily noticed by you. And then I removed the contents, of course, so as to not show anything that I'm not supposed to. The layout of the wallet is just fantastic. It has everything that I was looking for. You know, other than looking very bad, I would have preferred just a coloring, no drawings or anything. The problem here with this wallet was that the cards going in this direction, sometimes when pulling out the wallet or moving it, they would fall off. They would slip out of these slots and just fall off the wallet. That's not acceptable. You just cannot go about that. You just cannot accept that. It's just too much of a risk of losing a credit card. So this one, as you see, it has the slots for the credit cards in this direction, making it about impossible for them to fall off accidentally. Has 1, 2, 3, 4 slots for credit cards, then bigger ones, 2 there, and when you close it, there's no way of those falling off. Just, it's impossible, which is fantastic. It's exactly what I was looking for. It has the compartment for coins, which I always find handy, and I wanted that. I didn't want to give that up. And then it has this neat pocket here for, I don't know, maybe emergency cash. Probably that's what I'm going to be using it for, keeping some emergency cash in there, maybe some other currency, a different currency as well. And then you have the place where you keep the ordinary bills you use on daily basis here in this part. So it keeps those two separate and one very much secure. Yeah, I mean, I'm liking it a lot, and it's also smaller than my older wallet. The difference is not huge. It's not a very big difference, but it's still there. I don't know if you get to see that there. It is a little bit shorter, smaller as well, and with pocket stuff, a small difference. Just a few millimeters makes a huge difference. It is so much more comfortable in the pocket. This was just a bit too big. I sometimes find it just too close to the edge of my back jeans pocket, which I didn't like. Here it just fits in perfectly. This is ideal. So very happy with the new wallet there. Then with the phone, again, very happy with the Note 2. It is a fantastic phone. I mean, I'm so happy that I changed from iPhone to Android. Galaxy makes, Samsung with the Galaxy series makes a great phone. You have so much more options than with the iPhone. There's so much more stuff you can set exactly like you want and not just have to compromise like you always have to do it with the iPhone, which, iPhone is just iPhone. They don't like things being changed. They don't like things being manipulated. Here it is ideal for me. The phone also being that big, it's almost like a little tablet, so it's closer to the computer setup. You can have lots of apps for work and such. I'm gonna be doing a proper phone video, not just yet, but I'm gonna be doing that. The battery lasts for a very long time, and yeah, it's a fantastic thing. It's a fantastic phone. The OtterBox Defender case, in one of my previous videos I show how it broke here. This clip broke. I made the claim to OtterBox. A few days later I had the new OtterBox sent to me. That's why you buy good stuff. That's why you spend the bucks on quality, because it makes a difference. When something goes wrong, they owe up to it and do it better. They fix it or send you back a new one like they did with this case, which is great. I'm just trying to be a little bit more careful. I believe that it broke because it has the same clip as with smaller phones. This is the same clip. This part here is the same for the iPhone, the smaller iPhone, the smaller Galaxy S3. It's the same type of plastic part that keeps these two together. It's obviously a little too much for it to handle with the size of the Note 2. It's just too much lateral leverage that it applies because of the size alone of the phone. So I just have to be a little bit extra careful. Finally, yes, shades. These are my Wiley X revolvers. Not looking to change them or anything. They've been working very well for me. I always look to see if there's something new, better. I don't like much of the new things out there. Wiley and the other safety glasses. Some of them look a little bit too, too I don't know, too much bling on them, or too much things going on there. This is more of a simple design that I like. And yes, the watch that I've been carrying for a few months now, the Casio Pro Trek Tough Triple Solar PRG 250T titanium. I find myself using some of the things I thought I wouldn't be using, like the tide graphic. When would you be using the tide graphic? Well, living close to the ocean and to the sea and going there, being close to the beach, I do find myself checking out the graphic to see how the tide is going to be that day, and also the barometric pressure graphic. I also find myself checking out if it's about to rain, if the pressure is dropping, to have a better idea of what the weather is going to be looking in the following hours. So yes, I thought I wouldn't be checking those things up much, but surprisingly, yeah. The compass is maybe the thing that I'm using less, and I thought it would be one of the most useful ones. So that's why, even if I have my phone, if I'm forgetting my watch for some reason, I always go back because I miss those things, especially the barometric pressure graphic. So guys, sorry for the 20-minute video on Pocket EDC stuff, but I want to do a little bit of a better one. Sometimes, depending on where it is, if I can, I will have with me a better knife, of course, the Cold Steel Extra Large Voyager, which I've shown you guys before, and the Leatherman Charge TTI, which is a fantastic multi-tool. Whenever it is I can, I will have these two with me as well. And sometimes, for some reason, I find myself still carrying a little bit of cord. Weighs nothing, especially, if I'm having cargo pants with a little bit extra space because of the added pockets in the 511 tactical pants. I will find myself throwing this in one of the cargo pockets on the sides because it really weighs nothing, and having a little bit of cord is always a good idea. That's basically it for now, folks. Have a great day. Thanks for subscribing. Almost reaching the 10,000 subscriber mark, so thanks a lot for that, guys. Take care. Have a great day. See you in our next video.